in the early days, I'm saying year one, maybe year two.
Yeah.
I am much happier to pay off things like global goals and team goals to incentivize us setting up the right process across our go-to-market engine than I am over incentivizing people on individual goals. So an example would be if I give someone a really, really good comp plan on an individual quota, they are immediately going to care about, well, what accounts am I going to get? And how many leads am I going to get? And how is the SDR team going to be set up? And what can you commit to me with this or that? Versus if I have some individual incentive, but I also give them a bucket, which is like, hey, you're just on the global number. So then anyone globally closes a deal, you're getting some type of compensation off of that. Now I can experiment and change things up and figure out what is the best setup for long-term scale of the team. And the rep is okay with that because I've demonstrated that they're going to get paid. Like you're going to get paid for trying your hardest, doing your best, and being comfortable with the fact that we are creating a process that will work long-term. Now, again, I don't think this scales for years and years and years, but I think very early, it is absolutely the right thing to do and something I'm already doing at Qodo.
It's smart because you're keeping people's heads in the game and you're also giving the org optionality.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. We've got a great rep in California. He was the only rep in California. We now have a second rep in California. What does that mean? We need to split up California in some way, form, or fashion. If both of these reps are highly incentivized towards team goals, they're okay with that. They understand that. Not that they wouldn't be if they were both on individual plans. Obviously, they know that you can have more than one rep in California. But it's a lot faster of a conversation. It's a lot easier of a conversation to say, hey, you two need to figure out how you're going to split up this named account list than it is if it is a dog-eat-dog individual comp plan only, right? And again, I think this goes back to connecting your hiring to people who are here for that equity and are here for that team win and, are really a thing we've talked about in the past are into an abundance mindset, i.e. there's enough for everyone versus a scarcity mindset of like, I must protect what is mine because innately, if you're protecting something, you're not focused on growing. And what we need to do right now is grow like crazy, right?
We used to always joke that there'd be like this curse, this bad juju. If like people ever fought over an account, like no chance that deal's closing.
It's called can't divide zero.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, well, that's my word for it. Actually, we just had our first employee boot camp. I mean, we've hired. By the way, Qodo is hiring folks across the board. We just had an amazing new hire boot camp in New York City. And one of my slides was just can't divide zero. And it's like fighting over a deal. It just the sales gods get really upset. And then the deal ends up not closing. And how much time did you spend on this deal? And all we got for it is $0, which you can't divide, right? I have in our first ROE, 2 reps. They can come up with any split they want on a deal. And I will support it post haste. 90-10, 30-70, 50-50, whatever you guys want to do, as long as you are working as a team and you're good with it. And then it says, if you can't make a decision, myself and our SVP of RevOps will make one in 5 minutes. And then we're not talking about it again.
It says that we'll make it in 5 minutes.
I
awesome.
verbally say that, but that is what so it's like, hey, if you guys want to fight, you can come to me and I'll solve your little fight, but it's going to be done in 5 minutes and I'm already going to be walking out the door to my next meeting. So I hope you won't be upset with how that ends. So I suggest you come up with a split and just tell me about it.
Run the Numbers is a mostly LLC production. Yelling an intro by Fat Joe. Artwork by some AI thingamajig. Podcast and video editing is done by Cleancast at cleancast.io. Nothing said on this podcast is intended to be business or investment advice. It's the sole opinion of me, a guy who feeds his dog too much ice cream and has a history of net operating losses, LOL. If you like this podcast, please hit subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And also check out mostlymetrics.com. That's my newsletter where I explore business models and financial metrics. Thanks for riding with me. Share this with your friends. Peace.